ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the DePIN Happy Hour. We know there's absolutely no other place you want to be in on a Thursday evening than with the crew. I'm joined here by my cast of excellent co-hosts. And today, oh, wait a minute. Damn it. I played the wrong time.
Oh, you messed it up.
That's the worst. But we still got vibes anyway because we're human. And, you know, we can just... we can feel a little something. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us on this magical adventure. Gentlemen, there's definitely quite a lot to talk about, and I'm really, really eager to get some perspective. How are we feeling? What's the jam right now?
Well, the intro was pretty good. It wasn't as bad as Zuckerberg's AI demo earlier. That didn't go so well.
Oh my gosh, share your screen. I want to know what you're talking about. I did not know anything about this.
You didn't know anything about it?
No, I've been so busy today, dude. I've been zoned in. I have no idea.
Man,
you got to watch it. And it wasn't like one mistake. It was a bunch of blunders that happened.
That's
How's Metastock doing? Let's find out.
Wait. Oh, did Metastock tank over it? That would be a really good question.
No, it's doing fine. It's actually doing really good.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's actually doing pretty solid.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, they basically had a ton of demos for their glasses or whatever, and just like it was a series of features that they wanted to flex that didn't end up panning out.
All right.
He's a quick.
So I think our call will be coming in any moment now.
Pause WhatsApp video call.
There we go. Uh-oh. Well, let's see what happened there.
Damn.
That's too bad. I don't know what happened.
That's too bad.
Maybe Boz can try calling me again. All right. I got a missed video call.
So pissed.
Okay,
Yeah,
here's
he's so
the
mad.
actual video call. All right.
He's like, maybe
I'm just
Buzz
gonna
can
pick
try
that up
calling me
with
again.
with my neural band. This is, it happens.
He's so awkward. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't the only one, though. There's another one, too.
What do you think? Let's just go ahead and...
Pause WhatsApp.
Look at this one. This one, too.
I love the setup you have here with soy sauce and other ingredients. How can I help?
Hey, can you help me make a Korean-inspired steak sauce for my steak sandwich here?
You can make a Korean-inspired steak sauce using soy sauce, sesame oil.
What do I do
brown
first?
sugar.
You cut it off. That's never good.
Yeah.
What do I do first?
You've already combined the base ingredients, so now grate a pear to add to the sauce.
What do I do first?
You've already combined the base ingredients, so now grate the pear and gently combine it with the base sauce.
All right, I think the Wi-Fi might be messed up. Sorry, back to you, Mark.
It's all good.
We're still early, guys. We're still early.
We're still early. I'm a little irritated that the next version has a little display on it.
Making technology, and then the Wi-Fi at the day kind of catches you. All right.
You know what's funny?
Anyway, we'll go check out what he made.
I don't know if
Wi-Fi's nothing.
Okay.
part of it, but one of the funny things is that when I think it was the iPhone 4 release they did where they were trying to do the FaceTime call, it was the same issue. They're like, Steve Jobs is like, we've got 5,000 Wi-Fi base stations in the audience. We need you to show your computers, self-police each other. It's always the Wi-Fi. Blame it on the Wi-Fi.
It's always
I mean,
If anybody else own a pair, like
my
I have
neighbor
the
just
sunglasses,
got a
though.
pair. My neighbor just got a pair.
So wait, maybe we could start off here real quick. So, I've been paying real close attention to Alki lately, and I'm digging a little bit deeper. And I saw a while ago that they're working very closely with a group called Mentra Labs.
Yeah,
Who is making what is supposedly, I shouldn't even say supposedly, an open source version, let's call it, of the AR glasses.
Yeah, the Meta glasses.
So, I am thinking about getting a pair. I don't think I would get the Meta ones though.
I will say the current version is kind of limited in what you can do. The reason I got them was we did like a family trip to Disneyland last year, and always pulling my phone out to take photos and stuff when you're on rides just felt like a flight risk for the phone, or I was going to do something. But when I bought the glasses, I was fully expecting them to have more functionality. Basically, you can ask Hey Meta, which is no different than asking Hey Siri. And then you can say, take a photo or take a video, which is when you're got stuff going on, you don't want to use your hands. They're kind of convenient. But over and above that, I don't think the feature set is great. I don't know what your experience is, Brian, but
I was gonna say, and the length of time you can record is like 3 minutes, and it'd be nice if you could like stream directly to your phone and capture like 20 minutes of video at a time, so you could do an entire lecture, or you can live stream on Twitch or YouTube or X, whatever it is. That I think is going to come eventually, but this first version is definitely just V1. You know?
I was under the assumption that you would be able to do a live FaceTime call and have the glasses be the camera so that you could talk to somebody and show it. I did see a video, and I don't like, this is somewhat irrelevant to what you're talking about with Alki and this open source project, but one of the things that Meta specifically ran into as a problem was the AirPod protocol that they use for all of the music and streaming and everything is something that Apple built proprietary, and the Meta team was like, well, can we just use that? Can we just tap into it? And the Apple team was like, no, it's not encrypted. It's not this. And Mark Zuckerberg was like, well, just build a better protocol. But you created this walled garden where nobody else can take advantage of the benefits, and say you're forcing the app experience, like Brian said. But
it's Apple knows what they're doing. They probably have something coming up that is going to compete against it, and they just don't want to release the.
I just sent Nils the link, by the way.
Oh,
sorry, go for it.
No, I interrupted Brian to make a joke, but just to say that didn't they already like release their interpretation of AR XR with the Vision or whatever?
Oh, the Oculus, or is that the not?
No, they had like the Vision Pros or whatever.
Yeah,
flop though.
Giant, yeah. Not good. Well, I like the next version. The next version of the Meta glasses with the little display, I think is going to be the key here coming in the future, where people are actually able to get feedback. They already have the glasses that a lot of the guys on the TED conferences wear that has like the prompter built in. So I think that's where we're headed. So then you'll have the answers.
Look who just joined, guys.
What?
Yo.
Speaking of Nils.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Greetings from downtown San Francisco.
Nice.
Hey,
man, you've been doing a war tour lately. I saw you over at Base Camp cooking up.
Base Camp was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Man, I'm so glad. So, Nils, I mean, so it's so funny. We were literally just talking about Alki a few seconds ago. And,
I sent him the code. I was like,
yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah. Just like, hey, Nils, by the way, pull up if you want to.
It's like Beetlejuice. He hears his name on the happy hour stream and he pops up.
Yeah. And I mean, so there was a recent community call where you guys did some demos, basically showing Terry, right?
Terry.
Yeah, showing Terry walking into a space that he has never been in before and knowing exactly how to maneuver around. Could you maybe, like, for our audience that isn't super familiar, give a breakdown about how that worked out?
Sure. So it worked out. It worked very well. So the demo was this, right? We have a humanoid robot. It's a Unitree G1. And although Unitree robots have like a camera and they have a LiDAR and they can walk, they actually don't navigate out of the box. And when they walk, fun fact, they don't even use the camera. They walk like a blind person. Like the camera is not involved in the walking cycle at all. And we are building this thing we've come to call the real world web. William, because decentralized machine perception network was apparently a bit of a mouthful. So
it could be. It could be. I mean, hey, I'm not judging.
Real world web. And the idea is we need to make physical venues like conferences, like your home, like grocery stores, malls, whatever. They need to be browsable, searchable, and navigable the same way the internet is, right? Robots are looking for information about the physical world. So what we did at the WOW Summit in Hong Kong and at the Rethink conference in Hong Kong is we pulled up a couple of hours prior, placed a couple of reference markers, and walked around filming with our phones. Like literally the kind of phone I have in my hand right now. And uploaded that video onto the Alki network, onto the real world web, where that video information was processed into a 3-dimensional map. And when that was done, we brought our humanoid over, and as soon as the humanoid saw one of the reference markers, he was able to ask the Alki network, oh, hold on, if I see this reference marker here, can you tell me which node am I supposed to connect to? Where can I find information about this space? And the Alki network responded, said like, well, you need to go to this node over here. And then the node responded with a map and the context, so that we could then ask Terry, hey, could you walk over to the Intel booth? And Terry knew and was on his way, even though he'd never been there before.
Wow. Quez, you're muted.
But you know, DePIN has no utility, you know. So.
Yeah.
None.
Never.
Right.
So meme coins are the way, dude. Meme coins are the future. You know, that's definitely what we're thinking.
What are the chances a robot could run to the store, buy me a beer, and bring it back soon? Like from my house. Like,
yeah,
no?
I love that you asked this question, because I've also been thinking about the spaces between venues, right? Like my home to the grocery store. Could a robot learn how to maneuver that space? I have an idea of a company who might be able to help, but I digress.
Yeah, I mean, companies like HiveMapper and our good friends at ATHs are collecting data of the streets, you know, the spaces between the spaces, and we hope that companies like ATHs and HiveMapper and OVR and all of these guys will join Intercognitive and join these open standards that we're building to make the whole physical world accessible to AI. But yeah, I'd say we're maybe 3 to 5 years away from you being able to send your humanoid robots to the grocery store. Yeah, 3 to 5 years away.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
That's it?
Nils, what do you think about all these latest companies popping up now trying to use robotics as a narrative for why they should be investable or anything of the sort? Like, do you think there's too many people hopping on the bandwagon now?
I mean, of course there are people hopping on the bandwagon. You know, they're going to be. So some of them are complete LARPs. Some of them are just, you know, a bit of a stretch. You know, like if you're building a decentralized GPU network, sure, you could say that's for robotics, you know, without explaining how or why. You could do that, I guess, you know, because a robot is a computer at the end of the day. You could. But I'm a little bit torn, guys, because I've been told that there's only downside to fudding other projects. That I can't possibly win by calling out these other projects. So what I will do is I will strike a nice compromise here. I will tell you that one of these projects, I've started looking into all of them, right? Like I want to know who they are. Can we partner? Are they a threat or are they a friend? What's going on, right? So started looking in the top 10 gainers. And I saw one that was listing just a ton of partners. You know, oh, we're working with this company and that company and that company. And I know a lot of those companies. So I reached out. I reached out to SlamTech, which is one of the partners that this company said they were working with. SlamTech is one of the biggest robotics companies in the world. They make cleaning robots, restaurant robots, robots on wheels. And, you know, not only their own robots, but a lot of the other robots you see that do those jobs are SlamTech on the inside. And they're good friends of ours. We've done a fair bit of work with them, yeah? So I messaged them on WeChat, because, you know, they're Chinese. And I was like, hey, have you heard of this other project? No. It's like, well, that's funny, because they list you as a partner on their website. It's like, well, please send me a screenshot. And I sent a screenshot. It's like, Nils, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. We've never heard of these people. So be careful out there, guys.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The reason I even ask it is because I love this like energy you've been on lately on X, where you're asking people straight up, like, when you evaluate a robotics company, what do you like? Live demos or a bunch of bullshit? Like, I think it's great. I love that energy, man. I mean, you got evidence, right? You have evidence that you could point to about a lot of the work that you've been doing for years. I mean, people might just now be hearing about Aoki, but if I'm not mistaken, you guys have been operating for 4 or 5 years.
We've been yapping about robots since 2021.
Yeah, thought so.
Yeah.
Okay.
They made yapping cool before it was, yapping.
They were yapping before yapping.
Yeah, they
was
were
a thing.
yapping before it was yapping. They didn't get any airdrops for the yaps they
No
did.
airdrops. No.
Never get any airdrops. Really sad.
Mills, what can you tell us? I know that you're not I don't know. Whatever. I know you're not like a representative of this company, but I know that you work closely with them. What can you tell us about Mentra Labs? Like, what's going on with the glasses? How are they working with you guys? Should I buy that or should I buy Meta's glasses?
It depends on what you want, right? Like what you're looking for. So Mentra is making fully open source, fully programmable smart glasses. Meta's glasses are not that. They're not open source and they're not fully programmable, right? In fact, today was the first time that they opened up for you to do any programming whatsoever on the glasses. So up until today, people couldn't do anything on the Meta glasses that Meta didn't build themselves. So Mentra has a different, I think, philosophy. Caden has a different philosophy than Mark. Mark is sprinting towards AR glasses. Like, he believes in the future of AR glasses. And he is being a loss leader, doing his push-ups year after year to get better at miniaturization and get to a point where you can do AR glasses. And that's super cool. Totally respect it, apart from his, kind of evil business model of spying on people. But I really respect the hustle and the commitment of, like, we are going to get to AR glasses. Where Mentra is different is that Mentra wants you to wear smart glasses first and foremost. Like, you should wear them. And one of the things that Caden said that really got me hooked was, look, glasses were invented 800 years ago, but it wasn't until the 1920s that people started wearing them all day. Because it wasn't until 1920 that material science and design was good enough that you could make a pair of glasses weighing 40 grams. If they're heavier than that, you're going to take them off, right? You don't wear 100-gram glasses all day. So Mentra's whole thing is like, we want to make the best possible glasses that are 40 grams. And like, that's their thing. Fully programmable, fully open source, glasses that you can wear all day. So, different philosophies. I think Meta's new glasses are super cool, but I don't really, see a meaningful way for us at Aoki to work with that platform, because it's not fully programmable and it isn't open source, and it's not going to be easy for us to use those glasses to deploy with our customers. So we're very excited about Mentra, because they're solving our pain point of it needs to be programmable, it needs to be open source, and also the customer's pain point of, like, if we're deploying this out to be a co-pilot for physical work, then you need to be able to wear it all day. And you're not going to wear a pair of 100-gram smart glasses, but people are already wearing the 40-gram glasses that Mentra makes.
Would you argue that Meta is maybe making more of a consumer product, whereas Mentra, who also maybe long-term is looking at a consumer, like, is maybe focused right now on a developer experience?
I mean, the first thing that they released, like the first beta release was a dev kit, absolutely, to get people up and running. But the glasses that they're releasing, they are very, very consumer focused. I keep whispering distracting things in Caden's ears, trying to make him take B2B more seriously. But he's smart enough to know that, like, I am so committed to that thing that I'm going to drop the money to make that work if it's an open source platform. So he can follow his passion, which is to make amazing consumer glasses. And I know one of the use cases that he's incredibly passionate about is live caption glasses for people that are hard of hearing. And they are amazing at the live caption
Yeah,
glasses.
check me out. I'm right there.
These guys
I'm one
hearing
of those
it.
guys,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, so you get it, right?
Yeah.
So live captions, live translations, but also Mira, their AI that listens passively and proactively to your conversations and like fact checks you and shit. It's really cool, right? So one of my favorite demos is that Caden will say some bullshit that's not true, and then the glasses will correct him.
So wait, if I try to like lie to my wife, will Mira like yell the correction or the truth and get me in trouble?
Well, it won't yell, but it could put it on the.
William, that's not true. You weren't at the grocery store. You were somewhere else. You were gambling again. You were playing poker. No, I wasn't.
Fuck.
Mira,
Right
chill.
Wow.
Did you watch the conference today? Did you watch Meta's glasses conference? The
haven't had time. It's been a hustle all day.
What are you doing in San Francisco?
Raising money, my friend.
Hell yeah, dude. Love that shit.
We're putting together a 75 million Series A to start deploying humanoids and glasses to productive work. It's time to go.
Let's go.
Tell me about Cactus. Is that a product of the Alki team, or is that something that you guys have co-developed with another team?
Cactus was developed by us in-house. So that's a reference application that we built. But it's the application making the most revenue on the Alki network now. And, I hope it will continue to be very competitive. But there's other really exciting things that are being built on the Alki network now that could potentially overtake us. Like there's a guy from the Alki community named Mika Meal on Twitter, who's building this really sick co-pilot for like people that are cooking in fast food restaurants, prevent them from making mistakes. We've helped him build up a pipe of 13,000 interested locations already.
Wow.
Yeah. We're trying to help incubate Mika. We're giving him a big grant. We're flying him out to Hong Kong, giving him, the hands-on help that he needs to deploy this, and introducing him to customers, right? Because we've been talking to all kinds of physical businesses about what they want to do with AI over the last 2 years. So we had a good idea of who would want to talk to Mika. And very quickly got up to 13,000 interested locations.
He's probably just shaking with excitement, I imagine. Because it's one
He
thing.
posted a demo today.
Wow. Love that.
Yeah, I've been watching the demos you guys have been releasing in those other grocery stores, and it's been phenomenal. I just love the application of Cactus in real world, in the real world setting, a real world environment. Like having applicable uses to the business, but also the customers. It's a win-win.
We're excited about it. I know that like retail is not the sexiest thing in the world, but I think
they got money.
It's relatable, though. That's the whole thing. It's ground level. It's relatable. Like, I don't know. An app makes it easier for me to shop in public, so I'm going to use that app.
We've deployed app-free navigation now in our first couple of venues. I think the first venues to roll it out officially are in Bali. There were some places that did it unofficially, like technically had it live and were testing, but didn't announce it to anyone. But Pepitos in Bali have this app-free navigation now. You can go find your bread, your whiskey, and your razor blades or whatever it was in the demo video.
Yeah, I'm finding it right now. I'm trying to show it.
Nils, what would you suggest to somebody who maybe has some developer background, but has never been exposed to XR, AR? Is looking into Mentra, looking into Alki something that you'd recommend to somebody who maybe even just starting from zero, but is interested in building in this space? Is that something you'd recommend?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I've seen people vibe code apps for the mentor glasses in minutes.
Wow.
So yeah, look
That's
at
kind of
it.
wild.
Yeah, here I'm pulling up the video right now. This is the video.
I don't normally like shopping, especially when it's in an unfamiliar store, but this helped me so much. Super fast, super quick. I scanned the QR code and it let me find the whiskey, the razor blades, the bread, really, really fast. I did my shopping in 2 minutes.
What time will be alive, man?
Yeah. And so Nils too, like, so that connects to the store itself, right? So if they change any layout and like their cactus understands that something's been moved, it will automatically go onto the customer facing side as well.
Automatically. Yep.
That's
Nils,
so awesome.
why is Alki considered a DePIN?
Because all of these maps, all of these things are self-hosted by the customer. So we don't provide some cloud service like OVR does, for example, where OVR collects data about all of these physical spaces and then they provide a VPS. We make it possible for the venue to run their own VPS, and we make a protocol that allows the robots and the glasses and the phones to jump between them. So the actual physical infrastructure for the positioning is decentralized. It's not us running any of this. It's the venues themselves that run it.
And that experience to host something like that, do your customers need to have some kind of, I mean, I suspect that they have like probably an IT guy or something, right? But like, do they need to have technical experience in order to host?
A bit, but we're making it easier and easier. If you, like very soon, you will be able to just deploy it on someone's community node. Like if you don't want to like host it yourself, the Alki network will help you find some community member that are hosting hardware that you can deploy on. You know, you just pick one in a drop down and say like, yeah, I'll host my domain on William's machine. And then William gets paid for hosting that.
Wow.
Yeah. I get paid.
Yo, I mean, I'm thinking about just sidebar. I'm thinking about how when I go for a walk, like normally your heart rate's pretty elevated. But if you're going for a walk and talking, like you're usually kind of out of breath. So you're doing quite well, my friend. I hope I'm,
this is real life.
Getting your endurance going right now.
He's really
every time Nils
do a
is
lot of
joined.
walk and talking.
Quest is like, Nils is a physical specimen.
But
Word up. So,
but hey guys, I need to look at a map. Hold on, let me look at a map.
He just ends up exactly
fucking
where he
lost here. Give me a
started.
second.
oh man,
That's fine.
That's so funny. Dude, I love having him on here.
totally.
Dude,
Sorry, guys.
He broke down earlier like the opportunity for autonomous vehicles and like how it's going to explode the total addressable market for AI. It was a really good video. I actually played it on the live stream earlier, but we should pull that up.
Would love to see it.
Yeah, no, I mean they're in such like Alki is in such like the epicenter of everything that's about like all this autonomous systems, like autonomous driving vehicles, everything, man. It's about to blow up. Just like, I mean, it's gonna be massive. And then just like Nils said, we have to go. Like we're going now.
I actually think one of the things I admire the most is their word choice, right? It's like spatial intelligence. I think that really encapsulates what is being built so well, and rather almost like the data or the product that people are receiving, right? Is like you can now stand up, not just, I mean, the idea is that any robot would be able to tap in to a network like this and know where they are, know where things are at, be able to interact, not just with, how would you say this, inanimate objects, but also with people. I kept thinking about that demo that you guys had presented, but what happens if a robot who is connected to the Alki network gets interrupted, or something that maybe hasn't been or hasn't existed in their database happens? Like, I don't
that
know.
happened, of course, in the live demo, right? Like, of course that happened. And the way you solve that is you have different layers of the robot spatial reasoning. So, you have the path that it's following, and that's well and good. But it also has live obstacle detection, which is basically looking for things that cross the path. And if it crosses the path, then the robot stops, right? So when I say that like the camera isn't involved in the walking, I mean that like the camera isn't trying to figure out where to place the feet, right? But the camera and the LiDAR can be turned on, and we did turn it on to look for potential obstacles. So in our first live demo that we did in our office, Alex, our chief product officer, like a dummy, walked in front of the robot, interrupting our demo, and it made the robot stop.
Damn,
I need to look at the
Alex.
map again. Give me a second.
You're good.
We're gonna get Nils lost. He's like ends up in Alcatraz. He's like, oh.
He's got a meeting like in exactly 15 minutes, and bro's gonna be late because we're hijacking.
It's true, dude. I have a meeting in 20 minutes with the good folks of Tashi Network.
Dude.
Let's go.
Yeah, tell
we love
Ken we said
Tashi.
hey.
You guys should just
I will,
stream your
I will.
meeting on the happy hour.
Yeah, you guys just have your meeting.
Just stream it.
We'll mute ourselves, and you guys just hash your meeting out in the happy hour.
Maybe
All
we'll
the
just-
alpha.
I'll,
All the alpha.
like
I can
You're
tell
gonna-
you what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about how do we get to a point where you can have like 5 robot dogs hop out of the back of a truck and establish a real-time consensus of what the world looks like. Right? Let's say, your kid has gotten lost in the woods. We're going to go look for the kid with 5 robot dogs running through the forest. How do we get them to establish a real-time domain, right? And have a real-time consensus. This is a problem that Tashi wants to try to tackle, this real-time consensus. So we're sitting down, having a remote whiteboard session, talking about like, what do we know about this problem? And what do they know about this problem? And how can we collaborate to do the 5 dogs hop out of a truck demo?
I mean, I imagine there'd be some element of like edge computing, edge AI, being able to process the information that the robots are seeing at that time.
I think the big unlock is their consensus engine and how quickly or how fast it is.
Yeah, so we're going to have to try to have every node, like relevant node type on the Aoki network run on the robot itself, right? So there's no, like it will be a straight peer-to-peer network. And then they have to form a consensus over Tashi. It's like, maybe we'll have to do a distributed domain node. Maybe that's a thing, right? We don't know yet, right? So we're going to have a whiteboard session. I don't know all the answers, but I know what the goal is, right? The goal is 5 dogs jump out of the back of a truck and they find the kid in the forest. How do we get there?
That's so gangster.
That is
so
pretty
fucking
gangster.
dope.
That should be like the product video too. When you guys figure it out, that
Well,
should be
that's the demo.
that should be the
they're
exact
trying to-
demo. Yeah,
Yeah. That'd be so sick.
tactical dogs, like attack dogs. It'd be kind of cool, like from Metal Gear Solid. Oh my god, that'd be so sick. Oh,
Now that the cat's out of the bag, Nils, Ken may or may not be working on a AI generated demo of showing what can be possible with this. So maybe he'll have that for you.
All right. Okay, amazing.
Damn, we got
Amazing.
Alpha here.
deep energy, baby. I love it. Absolutely love it. And Nils, I noticed you were going to be in Singapore, right? You're going to be in Token 2049.
Yeah, I'm coming all alone. Can you believe it? Just me.
Dude, I'll be there. I'm going.
I'll see you. Thank you.
Yes.
I will latch on to you like a barnacle because I am
did the same
deeply
thing to Ken, man.
antisocial.
I did the same thing to Ken. I harassed him. I was like, "Let me in all the Tashi events." there's the cold plunge event. I don't know if you're gonna go to that. I might check it out. But
Haven't
we'll
heard
see.
of it.
Yeah, there's like an ice bath event. I don't even know, dude. It's gonna be really.
I want you to
That's
live
going to be
stream
needed
that.
when you're jet lagged and going to conferences and parties at night. A little cold plunge in the morning will set you right.
Well, set you right. Yeah, damn right. Nils, so you mentioned that you're in SF because you're doing heavy raising. What are some of the questions that you're getting from investors? What are some of the doubts that people are pressing you with, or objections that those investors have? And then also, what are your responses to some of those objections? Are any of them like really, really good, like you don't have an answer for, or do you feel like you guys got something really special? And
I always have an answer, right? It's up to you to decide if it's a good answer or not. But Man,
True.
I always have an answer.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest recurring question is, why do we want to take on the risk of robot inventory, like actually buying robots and leasing robots out to our customers? Like, why don't we stay in our software lane? Why take the risk of spending money on the hardware? And the way I see it is you have to choose between two risks, right? Either you take the risk of taking on the inventory, which absolute worst case, you buy $10 million worth of robots that are just fundamentally useless and you waste the $10 million. That can happen. Like, that can happen. Less worst case scenarios, still bad, but not as bad, is the robots take longer to deliver than you thought. They're more expensive to maintain than you thought. It took longer to get them ready than you thought. And those are also very real risks. That can happen. But the other risk is that you don't develop the muscle of how to distribute these robots. You don't learn what it takes to maintain them. You don't build the relationship with the robot companies, by spending money with them and proving what can be done. So the way I think about it is like, which failure would we rather own in the year 2028? That we wasted $10 million on the wrong robot, but learned how to build distribution, built a relationship with the robot companies, and maybe we even have $10 million worth of inventory that can now be deployed, if the blocker was that the software wasn't quite ready or whatever. Or do we want to be the company that don't have inventory, haven't built that muscle, don't have that expertise, don't have those relationships, right? I know exactly what the price is of taking the first risk, $10 million. Like, that's what you stand to lose, right? But in the other scenario, you stand to lose the entire fucking race.
Damn right. Yeah.
Right? So $10 million lost on robots. I know it sounds crazy, but that's just table stakes, man. You got to be willing to lose $10 million buying the wrong robot. If you're not willing to do that, you're not playing to win.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I said, look, here's why I'm raising 75. I want to be able to buy $10 million worth of robots twice, right? Right? Just in case I'm wrong the first time, I want to be able to buy again, right? 18 months later. And I want to have enough runway until the end of 2028, because by the end of 2028, for sure, we will be putting robots to work. I think we'll be putting them to work by the end of 2026 already. But if I'm wrong, I want to have runway until 2028, and I want to have enough robots to make one or two bad bets so that the third one is good. And that's what it will take to win. And I pointed out that, hey, like the guy I just met, you invested in this e-scooter company. How big was their Series A? Like, oh yeah, it was hundreds of millions. Like, yeah, exactly right. Right? If you want to win on hardware distribution, you got to spend a bit of money. Right? And robots is going to move a lot faster than fucking e-scooters did.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
those are
when the light
too.
switch moment happens for robots. Yeah.
I think a lot of people.
I have arrived.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm going to have to run, guys.
Our best wishes. Of course, Nils.
Great having you. Nils, I need to ping you about something as well, so just expect a DM from me coming soon.
Yeah, and also DM me when you get to Singapore. I fly in October 1st, so I'll text you.
I don't need to ping you for anything.
Be there already.
Do it anyway.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah, dude. Just slide on in. See ya.
Thanks for popping in.
Heck yeah, man. Bye. Man, I love talking to him every time.
Freaking legend.
Yes, that was
Just
Nils
legend.
from Alki. We got him to join last second. It was freaking awesome.
So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take my existing Alki bag, and then I'm just gonna
quadruple it.
I'm gonna put more into it.
Well, if you want to, also you can actually provide to the Peak and Alki liquidity pool on Machine X and get some yield off your Alki token.
I haven't played around with that the machine Dex.
It's actually not bad. It's actually really simple, very easy to use. I was actually kind of shocked, and everything works great. So
I love that.
Yeah,
I think that's Moonbag worthy. If he's saying 3 to 5 years. $500 now, 3 to 5 years would be like insane.
Crazy.
If it takes off.
The thing that I admire the most is that they're thinking so far ahead, and as a result of, it's simple to think about stuff, but like to build products that can be iterated on and then leveraged by other entities. And, that becomes like the de facto and best performing technology at the time. Because I'm sure probably there'll be a competitor somewhere else who thinks there's a better way of executing their vision, spatial intelligence, data gathering, etc. But I mean, they look pretty damn good right now. I'm not gonna lie.
For sure.
Certainly reflecting some of the positive sentiment that you share, Quez. So
yeah, man.
I'm enjoying that positive sentiment right now. To be honest with you,
I wonder why they chose Base over like Solana.
I was wondering the same thing just a minute ago because I was going to buy some.
I asked them this before, and I forgot exactly. There was a very specific reason, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. But I remember Nils stated, or I think it might have been Santeri who told me about it actually.
Mm-hmm.
But there is that really neat direct integration into the Base app, the DEX on Base app. So like, if you have the Base app, it's the everything crypto app. Obviously, like that's what they're going for. At least you have the social aspect and whatnot, and the native DEX. But Alki is on the native DEX right now for the demo version, for the beta version. But they're also on Peak now too. They've spread out to Peak as well. So I don't really I don't think that we shouldn't see an Alki token on Solana soon. Like I think it's going to be happening fairly soon.
Well, it's so big that there are more cars on the road in Beijing than there are people in Los Angeles, right? And the average commute by car is 2 hours. So if you do a quick back of the napkin calculation, you find that roughly the time it took to build the pyramids are lost in Beijing traffic every single week.
Oh my God.
Right? Crazy, right? Yeah. So, thinking back to Naval's blog post, how big is the economic opportunity to get self-driving cars to coordinate with each other, not just drive autonomously, but communicate with other vehicles on the road, communicate with security cameras, be able to check, like, do I need to slow down if I go around this corner? Is someone crossing the road right now? Like all of these things that are in theory possible for an AI to do that a human couldn't do. To be clearly a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity, right? Another way to think about it is 70% of the world's GDP is still tied to physical locations and physical labor. So the leap from like agentic AI to physical AI is an automatic 3x increase on the TAM of AI.
Wild, right?
Yeah.
Dude. Guys, I had to say this in Spanish. Este hombre es un fucking animal, brother. Este hombre está de pinga, brother. God damn. Holy shit.
I think it's appropriate. I'm drinking Corona right now. And I feel like I'm in the Fast and Furious, Quez, when you talk like that. So I'm all missing a fast car.
Emily. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab another beer. Need it.
Yes. Wow. That was just incredible stuff. I'm really excited to see them.
I've not invested enough in Alki, so it's I'm gonna probably 10x my.
I need to make more content on Alki because I'm still an ambassador for them, so I need to make more content. I feel like a crappy ambassador. I'm sorry, guys.
What's wrong with you?
I've just been busy, man. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I'm just like crying every night. Like
you don't even have a kid yet, brother.
I know, dude. I've taken on too much, bro. I've taken on too much.
That's all right.
Oh God, but no,
you quit your 9 to 5 yet?
Yeah, no, that's gone. I mean, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm doing a lot. The spaces are taking up a lot of my time now. I have the deployment business on the side. I have the newsletter. I have this. I have the content I'm still doing. So I'm trying to push out more Alki content because I have a lot of Dava content lined up, but I want to get more Alki videos. The robot videos are fun to do. I think the last good one I made was in Colorado. That was a great video.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, that was fantastic. It was great having him on. I was gonna ask a question. What is the number one concern you have with the deployment business moving forward?
My number one concern is project, like besides like obviously token price, it would be like the dynamics of the project or like maybe even the tokenomics. So like I'm nervous that like a proposal could just undermine my business, like you're one proposal away from losing that revenue stream or it affecting you greatly depending on how much you've scaled. which is why I plan on diversifying heavily out of, because obviously helium's a big part of my portfolio, but I want to diversify into other things, do more GeoNet and WingBit stuff, get involved in other areas of DePIN outside of just helium, put more XNet units out there, etc. Just because I think that's smart to do. Diversification is key, and also maybe even get into basic crypto mining, like start hosting, get a big warehouse space, start doing like lots of GPU compute stuff, get some deep network nodes out there, get some, ASIC miners or something like that for Bitcoin, and just start really branching out, because I don't want to just be, caught holding one bag and then that bag ends up tanking. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah. It's almost like you have to have a second hat. You know what I mean? You have like the business hat. Okay, I need to get deployments out there. You're receiving revenue. Now, what do I do with that revenue? Obviously you have your host. You have to distribute that to your hosts in whatever form they want. But at the same time, you're like, okay, now I have this bag and I have this revenue flow. How do I manage that?
Brian, you become a Bitcoin treasury company, dude. What are you doing? All right, my LLC is a Bitcoin treasury company now. It's nice. I could trade on the open market too eventually. Right, Brad? I can do that. I can pitch it to the SEC.
Oh yeah, they just changed the rules, man. We're about to get all our ETFs fast track.
I was going to say, so the concept of a publicly traded DePIN company is real, and I think we're fast approaching that. It's not going to be if it happens, it's probably going to be when it happens. Tyler probably has a good insight on this, But if Helium would all of a sudden say, "Hey, we're going to try to make a publicly traded company out of this and actually have stock and not just tokens," what's your guys' thought on that? Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? How do we, there's some definite hurdles with how it's formatted, how it's set up, and what restrictions are there, but it could be a good thing in the long run.
I love it. I thought about this a couple of days ago. Brad and I were going back and forth, looking through
PGA
filing Brad's been ducking the PGA. We haven't played in a while. But trying to go through a bunch of the EGR filings to see if we could get a little bit of alpha on some of the upcoming events that are happening through ETFs, through these treasury codes, so on and so forth. But it did get me thinking in the back of my head, like, you've got the first DePIN private equity company with inversion. Like, when's the next? I'm like, and I'm not the person to do this, although it would be really interesting. Like, what would it look like to be kind of the first DePIN DAT, or even just a SPAC that goes out and acquires stakes in all of these different networks that are generating revenue and that you think has upside? I think it would bring a lot of legitimacy to what's going on in the space, but I also think it would be fucking awesome to say, like, yeah, we launch the first XYZ DePIN publicly traded company. That would be so cool. But
we asked Nick about that, and he said he had thought about it too. Remember on the space?
Oh yeah, we've chatted about it. We've chatted about it. That was like one of our hair schemed ideas at one point. It was like,
so couldn't we have that in like some kind of hybrid form if there was an acquisition or a merger with a publicly traded company, getting it like more involved with the DePIN?
100%.
So like let's say AT&T just like gets a big stake in Helium, like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of it from the perspective of like what you're seeing with all these DATs currently doing, and going out and either acquiring stakes in the token, or even like hardware businesses. Like you could envision, if Fractals really scales out, that might be a very interesting potential opportunity for a company like this. If you're getting the distribution stream from these hardware devices, which I think it's tangible, it's realistic. It'd be different than going out and doing deals with large scale deployers. But if there's a platform like Fractals that's going to have a bunch of different DePINs that are, you can sort of effectively buy the yield that's generated from it, like that, I don't know, I think it'd be cool.
That's kind of like a REIT almost, right? It'd be kind of,
it would be like a REIT for DePIN.
That'd be so sick. Oh my god. Imagine creating that REIT. Like, you have like a DePIN deployment company. It's a REIT pretty much. You're taking 15, 20, 10% of the fees of the revenue generated. Oof, raking in that cold hard cash, baby.
I was going to say, I think that it's most likely that something like this does happen. But the question I start asking is like, who do you start caring about when it comes to value accrual? It's like, say, for example, someone focuses on becoming a DApp for Helium specifically, right? Like, are you supposed to be, or even in the case of Helium, let's actually use the first example, which is Helium going public, and then now they have shareholders. Like, who do you owe the value accrual to? To the token holders or to the shareholders? And then also, how do you denominate between who gets what? Right? It's like,
yeah, I think it would be a little bit weird for, and maybe not weird, but I think it would be, I mean, at the end of the day, having a decentralized network of, physical infrastructure, if you want to call it that, you've got the opco that's really spearheading a lot of the business development, a lot of the protocol development, a lot of these other things. But at the end of the day, like, those are, I call them conduits to be able to facilitate the value accrual to the token. And so I think you could make the argument that, like, in a Helium case, because they're growing their MVNO business and kind of the direct to consumer side, that maybe there'd be like a public offering opportunity on the table. But I think the majority of these companies, like, the long-term goal is it's all either managed by the DAO or like in Deep's case, the DAC, but it's the actual opco is more of a facilitator to hit some critical mass where the thing can kind of exist less hands-on over time.
I don't know. I do. Every time I think about the DAT strategy, I love it, but I also am a little concerned about it. It's like, and I know we've talked about this on the show before, which is like, why would I buy that stock at a premium if I could just buy the underlying asset that stock is based on anyway? And, assuming I believe in the same thing, again, like, I think the outcome before was that you could still capture the upside of the stock, which is great. But I don't know. I'm just a little worried about what happens if things start to unravel, right? Like, I mean, there's been discussions, and I know this is maybe like tangentially related, but now there's like accelerated listings for ETFs and things of the sort. So, like, what's stopping somebody from spinning up a Dogecoin ETF and then that suddenly unraveling?
One just launched today.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right?
Dogecoin ETF launched today, finally.
The Doge one did. The Osprey. So I looked into this. The Osprey, they launched a Solana one, and they went under like a different like ruling class. So it's not like an official spot ETF. They have like 80% of the underlying asset. They have to keep 20% in like in cash or treasuries, but they were able to fast track around like the traditional SEC rules. And so they found this workaround. So they did the same thing. Doge, they launched with Doge and XRP today.
Mm-hmm.
But now the SEC changed the rules, like they announced yesterday. So now it's going to allow all these other ones to get fast tracked through.
Is this a positive or negative?
A lot of people are calling for it to be like the thing that pushes us into the next bear market because of the amount of leverage that some of these treasuries are using. And that if the price starts dropping, they have to start selling off assets. It's going to cause like a bunch of panic selling, a cascading effect. Yeah.
I think to answer your question, Quez, about, what's the value of being able to buy a treasury co versus just buying the underlying. I mean, it really boils down to institutional and, long-term kind of like 401k tax advantage investment vehicles that are otherwise unable to participate in just buying something like Solana directly.
Sure.
But
sure.
I think once we get a little bit more regulatory certainty in terms of, what can be done, what's going to be launched, so on and so forth, I do think it's going to change the dynamic of these treasury co's fairly dramatically because and at the worst case, if they've been a company, if they acquired a company that had some nominal amount of business, like that's potentially some amount of risk to the the value of said treasury co. I think, Brad, you talked about that a little bit today on your stream, but I think the other side of it is like they're all going to effectively become a commodity, which is a basket of whatever the underlying is. And so, like, why, I know you talked about this on your stream today, Brad, but we chatted about this the other day, is like, why is there premiums and MNAV for different companies? At the end of the day, if it's a proxy for the underlying, like, you'd think that they're maybe a 50% difference, but in some cases you've got like a 10-to-1 difference in the value premium that investors are putting on these, and so you're like, that seems a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. For the folks back home, I didn't know this earlier in my life. I learned it later, which is if you. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
I was going to show you this. Is what I was talking about with the Rex Osprey. That's how Solana got that ETF approved. They went through this 1940 Act for expedited approval instead of the Securities Act of 1933. So if you look at the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs so far that have been approved, they went through this Securities Act of 1933. The Rex Osprey has been using this alternative route, but it says here, like, they can't just hold the underlying asset with 100% of their assets. They have to have a diversified portfolio. So what they're doing is like 80% in the underlying asset, and they've been doing like 20% in cash treasuries and other derivatives. So that's why like the Solana has been up 38% over the last month. The Rex Osprey Solana ETF's been up like 32%. So it's not going to move exactly in tandem, but it has allowed them to move a lot faster.
Sure.
But the big announcement today was that they're now, the SEC announced this yesterday, that they're going to essentially fast track it and eliminate the need for individual approvals under that Security Act of 1934. So that should, they're saying, open up the door for all of these spot ETFs to get approved here. So you got Solana in there, Litecoin, Chainlink, Stellar, AVAX, etc. Like all these are going to have ETFs approved now soon.
Bro,
So,
all of Cardano's 5 users are going to be able to get in here.
Ouch! Shots fired.
These are the two that got approved, that are launched today: XRP and Doge. So it's DOJE and XRPR are the two that went live today.
Fucking crazy. So, I don't know, man. I mean, again, like what I was gonna say earlier is like, see, kind of what Tyler was mentioning is like people having access to crypto as an investment vehicle, like someone who had all of their net worth or a lot of their net worth sitting in a 401k or an IRA, like they were not going to move that money out to put it into Coinbase on a mobile app to then make big plays, right? So like the idea is that you're now giving capital, or people who are keeping their capital in institutions, a means to access these new markets. So I get why these vehicles are being spun up. My question still becomes is like, what happens when things get a little scary or when things get rocky? I just feel like the same way that we are accelerating growth and we're seeing a lot of like ripping upwards, what must come up? What goes up must also come down. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
I think there's less of a risk on that for the ETF side. I think that's definitely more of a problem on the Treasury Co side because, to Brad's earlier point, like their leverage, they're either, selling debt or raising debt with these private or using debt instruments through private placements, or they're diluting their shares. And so like, depending on the capital structure of the company, there is a likelihood that if you've got a significant 50% drawdown, which we see in bear markets, if not more, like Solana. I mean, the Solana example is a little bit, I don't think it's a great one to use because a lot of that was driven by the FTX stuff. But even if you look at other, like, you look at the peak to trough drawdown on AVAX, for example, like if you're a Treasury Co that's funding the acquisition of that on debt, you're probably going to get the equivalent of margin called on needing to service that. And so then you got to sell it. It becomes this black swan cascade all the way down. And so that I do think is a risk. I know, like I always, because Brad covers this stuff a lot more than I do. And I was always, I'm always picking his brain for information. But one of the things that I'm really interested in is what's the tipping point between institutional capital and retail capital, where the institutions have outside of like, covering like a debt service requirement, but if they have a higher stomach or a higher propensity to hold through some of these drawdowns, like what's the tipping point in institutional money versus retail where you don't see as big of a drawdown because they're going to hold anyway? And so it's not like this domino effect where all of a sudden people are panic selling and then it's kind of a race to the bottom. But I have no basis of what that is. It 10%? Is it 20%? Is it 5%? Like, who knows what that is?
I think it'll increase. I mean, yeah, we talked about this. I don't know, a few weeks ago, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think in the past, Bitcoin would see like 70% drawdowns regularly in bear markets, right? So like, but it was all people just trading on high leverage, or a lot of them. Now you have like people telling.
Well, it's gotten worse too, right? With all the perps trading.
For sure.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure. But you still now have a meaningful percentage of people that are telling their financial advisor, hey, I want to put 3%, 1% of my retirement into Bitcoin for long-term holding. I know it's going to fluctuate. And I think you're going to see more and more of that, especially as you see some of these older holders that are starting to sell, and you're seeing that change hands. I do think that people are going to hedge against the US dollar, buy gold and Bitcoin for long-term holding without any plans to sell it until they're retired.
Yeah.
So I agree, man. I think that will stabilize things.
Yeah. Bob,
Nice.
Solana beats BTC ETF, my retirement account, 10 years until I see it at the earliest. Yeah, and I think that's going to be important. And I don't remember the exact number, but I know that they've historically gone back and looked at the tops of the cycles for predominantly Bitcoin, but seeing what the average kind of cost basis was when the top of the cycle happened. And I think it was 2.5 on average. So basically, like, if it was $100,000 Bitcoin, the average holding was 50K. So as we continue to get long-term investors through, retirement accounts or even institutional buys, hopefully you'll see that number go up in terms of the, what becomes the peak based on your average hold value per wallet. So it'll definitely be an interesting case study.
Yeah, man. Solana and Aki, man, gaining some serious traction right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They are just ripping.
I see, like, so Quez, my opinion or my perspective on this question that you brought up is, I just think it'll be, you're going to see kind of not exasperation, but like an addition to what we've seen already. Like beforehand, we had these really nascent markets. Like you had, like, crypto is still very new, but arguably so. 5 years ago, it was much newer still. And so there's a lot more dramatic, returns, but also a ton of risk. Whereas the more and more capital that flows into these things, the less volatile they become over time. And so, like Bitcoin, for instance, I don't think we're going to see like the dramatic like 80% drawdown. Like I don't think that's really here. Could we see like a dramatic dip in it? 20%, 30%? Sure. Depending on like macroeconomic and factors and whatnot. But just because there's so much more capital involved in Bitcoin, as well as these other L2s and L1s that are like slowly getting more traction, you're getting more and more capital allocation. The less volatile they become. And so do I think like altcoins and everything like that are still like jumpy, especially with perps and and futures trading and options and leverage, of course, like, yeah, sure. Like, why not? But to Tyler's point about the Black Swan events too, with the these treasury companies, that's a completely different story. But just in my basic understanding of finance and my experience with the market over the past decade, that's been my experience, is like these newer companies, like these quantum computing companies are still very volatile. There's lots of stuff being built on them too. Like you have a bunch of leverage built on top of them. But do I think that, over time, like as these quantum computing companies get larger in the same sense as crypto, do I think we could still see those dramatic dips? Probably not. Probably not as much, if that makes sense. So like, yes and no.
I agree that we'll see more stabilization over the long term, for two reasons. One, as both you and Tyler mentioned, like more capital coming in, but also two, like I think crypto will start to go away or decouple from being like a tech stock. Like it's funny because a lot of people point at crypto as something that's insanely volatile, but there's tech stocks that have kind of done the same thing. Peloton is just one that comes to my head immediately. But given the fact that there's a lot of uncertainty, I mean, I hate to even call it a lot, but there is uncertainty from generally from people about what crypto is, how it's used, what it's there for, whether it's good for humanity or not, whatever. I think long term you'll see even like in an example of Bitcoin, you'll see significantly more stabilization. I would even argue right now, like, I don't know that we'll ever see Bitcoin go down below 100K. I think
I disagree with that.
Wow,
No,
interesting.
I easily see it going down below 100K if we get like some crazy black swan event like Tyler mentioned, and not even then, but even if we get like a drawdown.
I mean, it went down to like 107 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and that's something else I want to point out too is that, like, I mean, we're talking about volatility, but like back in the day, I'm talking about like COVID day, when like shit was just pumping 400%, that's when shit people were like, oh my god, this thing's pumping. But now we get all excited over like a 5% pump. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, oh my god, it's ripping, dude. It's like up 3.5%. It's like, that's
been like this year. Because of that, it's been a rough market this year. Yeah.
Well, it's also like it just shows that we've matured. Like the market's matured, not the people in it. Like we're all very immature, of course, but like the market itself is maturing.
But Tyler, talk to me a little bit more. You're saying that you see that as a very possible thing, like Bitcoin dropping below 100K. Yeah,
100%.
Wow.
100%.
I bought Peloton in the 50s and sold under 10. That's just
bring it up.
Damn it, Bob.
Brutal.
I'm sorry, brother.
I mean, I don't want it to, but I think that's a very likely scenario.
I agree.
I don't know. I see. So the
this
black
is before the
swan
melt
event,
up, right? This is before the melt up.
This would I would have to be before a melt up. If we ever see Bitcoin go below 100K again, it's
the crash,
because
the
of like
flash crash
narrative
before the
or whatever the fuck.
I mean,
ripped the Valhalla.
imagine MicroStrategy starts unwinding. Imagine Satoshi's coins get that wallet gets hacked because it's old wallet, right? Or starts moving. I mean, there are events that could certainly lead to, but I think MicroStrategy unwinding is like the most likely scenario for that to happen, like for a major unwinding. And we've seen in every bull run, like we have retraced to the all-time high from the last market cycle. We saw it get close to that after
in May.
Trump announced the tariffs, but so I think it's very likely that we still at some point see things fall below 100, but I don't know. I don't know we'll see the same drawdowns we've seen in the past. I agree with that. I don't think we'll see like 80-90% drawdowns anymore like that.
That's also where I'm at. But okay, I guess it's fair to say that it's not impossible to go below 100K, but the significance of the drawdown certainly won't be crazy, like won't be a massive.
Well, if Bitcoin goes below 100K, like the entire market, like not just crypto, I'm talking about TradFi markets too. Like those are down horrendously.
Everything's fucked, 100%. We're just getting fucked across the board. Like
bent over.
Now, what I see is like go ahead, Tyler.
No, I was gonna say that it probably will happen. I mean, I think that at some point we're gonna have another recession. Like we're gonna see the stock market.
What do you mean? The jobs market's fine, Brad. What are you talking about? All right.
Yeah.
They didn't fudge the numbers again.
No way.
You're a beautiful job.
It's gonna happen at some point. And no one knows.
The Fed's
exactly
gonna fight off the recession, guys. Don't worry. They're gonna come save us again. All right. I'm obviously kidding.
They probably will.
No. Say what I think is going to happen is like I think Trump does have a point in saying that the Fed is a little too late because the data is just it's awful. Like the data that the Fed's getting isn't accurate, obviously, and so they're making decisions in the dark, essentially, like blindfolded.
Yeah.
And so I think what's going to happen is you're going to have a flash crash similar to COVID, and then like the Fed's going to have to make dramatic moves, really, really dramatic moves, and it's going to be. Maybe not to the extent of COVID, but it looks something similar. Maybe not like a V-shaped recovery, but maybe it's like a W. I don't know.
They asked Powell in his speech yesterday about if he would have cut rates sooner if he'd known they were going to revise jobs down by 911,000 jobs. And his answer was, well, we can't really look backwards. We have to look through the the windshield. He said, so we're taking steps now based on the information we have. So it's like, yeah, you would have
they panicked.
Earlier.
Oh, 100% panicked.
Yeah.
They saw that and Powell was like, what? Like he's probably drinking his coffee, just spit it out. I was like, what?
Yeah. We got 2 more rate cuts coming this year, apparently. I mean, according to their projections right now, October and December. So fireworks, baby.
Fireworks, baby.
So many people are waiting on those rate cuts. So many people.
Well, you see, it won't. We can't just go off the rate cuts alone though. Like there has to be some level of QE happening. Too. Like the big thing to pay attention to, guys, isn't the rate cuts necessarily. It's going to be the balance sheet, the Fed's balance sheet. Always pay attention to that. That is the number one indicator of are we going to like just completely melt face moon, or is it going to be a gradual, grind up?
They've been doing stealth QE anyway through the reverse repo market. Until now they're out. They run out of that
Yes,
though.
They
but
yeah, it's zero.
It's
Isn't it like tapped?
They pushed like $2 trillion into the markets over the last couple of years through reverse repo, and then so he was asked about that, about QT versus QE, and he basically said like we're not really doing either at this point. It's such a minuscule amount, like compared to the overall market. But I think if we do see the market drop out, QE will start, but they're going to find ways to do it in a stealth way that's not like outwardly QE. Not
like stimmy checks.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Jerome Powell's only going to be there till May. That's the one thing that people need to realize too. Is like, yeah, we're going to have a rate cut under him probably in October and December, maybe one more in Q1. We'll see how. I mean, we got to see how bad things get in the economy. But his term is, I mean, he's up in May. They're going to put somebody in there that's likely going to be cutting the shit out of rates next year. I would. What's that?
Then it's a zero.
Powell? You're talking about Powell?
Powell's done in May. So whoever they appoint in there is going to be someone that is going to be likely cutting rates.
Is that when we get the fiscal dominance scenario, Brad?
What do you mean the fiscal dominance?
You know what fiscal dominance is? Oh my God, you have to read Lynn Alden's book, Brad. It's great. She talks about it all the time. But it's basically a scenario where the Fed's monetary policy is overtaken by the government's fiscal policy. Like, because the two clash for so long that, obviously in this kind of economic system we're in, the government will just rampantly spend money, forcing the Fed into a really awkward position, which they're in now. Yeah, exactly. But like it reaches a tipping point though, where the government won't stop. Like Lynn Alden has a famous quote where like nothing stops this train. And the train is government spending. Like the government has to spend money. Like they're at a point now where they can't not spend money. They have to spend money, whether it be on interest or on, funding their programs or like overbloated programs. But there's just so much debt in the system now that the government is going to force the Fed to like lower rates to zero again, because the government can't afford the debt, if that makes sense. Like they're just choosing the path of least resistance and complying, and instead of destroying the economy and destroying the dollar, and just giving the government what it wants, even though it's like the what is it? It's like a poison that's going to kill you eventually. But it's like, oh well, like this is better than
like alcohol.
Like here you go.
Alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
The Treasury's already is controlling the yield curve. I don't know if you guys have seen those posts where people are like, they're buying back our long-term debt.
Nothing stops.
Have you all seen those posts where they're like, we're buying back our debt? I don't know if you guys have seen those posts at all, but
I haven't seen those posts, but that's definitely yield curve.
Yeah,
control.
They're issuing short-term T-bills and taking that debt they're raising to buy our longer-term debt.
So
they're basically taking an interest-free credit card right now to pay off your mortgage. Is essentially what they're doing, because they know the Fed's gonna be lowering rates, and when the Fed lowers rates, obviously the short term is more impacted. But the other thing is they're trying to restore confidence in our long-term debt, because if you hold like a 30-year bond, for example, you can go and sell that in the open market, but you have to be confident there's gonna be buyers. So if the government's the government's stepping in and buying up their own long-term debt, people are like, all right, I feel okay about that for now. And it also pushes down those longer term yields to an extent if the more they do that. So that's why I think the stablecoin issue is going to be so important, because they need short term debt buyers to be able to do that. So it kind of pieces the whole puzzle together,
I think it was who was it from Russia that was making the comment of oh, the United States is using cryptocurrency to buy up their own debt. And
they are. That's exactly what they're doing.
Exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
You just caught on to it 6 months after they've been doing it. But
Well done
on you.
That's why do you think Tether's launching USAT now? They're like, oh hell yeah, and the government was probably just like, dude, do it, man. Everyone wants stable coins. Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Brad, you should make your stable coin. DePIN Happy Hour stable coin. Tyler, Quez, you get a stable coin. Everyone gets
just
a
do
stable
creator
coin,
man.
Wait, should we start streaming on Pump?
Did you see that video of that guy? He like calls his boss. He's like, so I'm calling to let you know I have to turn in my notice because I have a new gig. He's like, I'm working for Elon now, and he made like 150 grand. He's like treadmill guy. I don't know. It's like ridiculous.
Wait, is it the guy that plays Call of Duty?
No. He like takes his shirt off and just runs on the treadmill.
That's
wait, that's his job? He's doing streaming. He made like 150K.
That's his job.
Yeah,
it
is for now. While this whole thing lasts.
Will, something you can add to your
if he's
content
smart,
creation repertoire is doing like a pump fun.
Damn.
Will's about to do this for the
maybe.
ice plunge. You know what I mean? He's going to cold plunge this thing. And
Dubai,
Singapore.
Obviously, this got a lot of attention on X this last week, but people had to continue to remind other people that were buying these creator coins. They're like, you can't realistically stream for 12, 24 hours a day. Like, these are at best a few hours that you may do. But I think watching someone suffer through a cold plunge would be an awesome opportunity to launch a token and do it. The problem is it's like 3 minutes at best, but
I'm just sitting there for 10.
Do
I'm like
it.
dying. Everyone's like, no, you need to get out. You have hypothermia.
Let me buy before everybody else and do 10 minutes.
I'm the first death on the creator streams.
Hypothermia, it's not the worst.
I know people have died in the past, but I'm talking about this new set. This is season 2 right now, guys. All right, this is like Love is Blind season 2. It's a new location.
No, but you bring up a good point, which, I mean, obviously, I think everybody or a lot of people are still kind of reeling with the fact of just what's gone on in the last week on kind of the more political spectrum. And it has, the first thing that jumped into my mind with the new meta of these streaming coins is like, when does this go south and someone starts doing either crazy shit or they harm themselves, and what are the parameters in place to be able to turn something off? What's really interesting is a good friend of mine from high school, he was a staff engineer at Meta. So he's now got a company that he helps a lot of developers get jobs and all this kind of stuff. But he was actually the person that was tasked on building their approach for live stream videos to prevent, basically someone either shot someone else or committed suicide on the stream. And it was just this horrifying thing. And so he actually kind of cracked the code on how Meta solved that. But it's, you know, based on hearing him explain how he went through the thought process of coming to the conclusion that they did on the architecture side and everything else that's been going on, it was the first thing that I thought of with all these creator coins. I'm like, what happens when this starts to go bad? Because people are itching for attention. And so they'll go to extreme, further and further lengths to be able to create something that gets eyeballs and gets their token to pump up.
I'm pretty sure it already happened. There was a guy who got himself.
You didn't. Did you guys watch that video? The guy that unalived himself.
Yeah,
I did not watch it. I like saw it. I saw the video.
I
it was brutal. I was like, whoa.
I didn't want to watch that. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through Twitter, and of course it like played for me, and I was like, oh my god.
That is one thing I really, really want Elon to do a better job of fixing on X, is have content warnings before some of these videos come out. I don't know what.
There is some, so there's some on some videos. There is on some videos, like it just pops up and says, "Oh, this is explicit." Like tap to watch, and you can also go in your settings and turn the automatic playback option off, which I didn't do. Like basically, if you scroll through Twitter, there's an option now where you can just make sure videos don't play unless you click them.
I turned that on after last week because I saw that video and it made me sick to my stomach.
Oh, it fucked me up too. Yeah.
Then it started interfering with everything else that I was wanting to see on X, and it got annoying, so I turned it off. And then thankfully I haven't really seen any dramatic or graphic videos since then. But yeah, I just think there could be more than that. Anyway, I don't know how we even got on this tangent of creator coins and the rest, but Will, yeah, you should definitely do one and make some money.
Thanks, Tyler. Tyler buys it. Tyler starts like spitting out my contract address.
The meme going by.
It might be the first successful.
It'd be really funny if I did it, and then Tyler posts the contract address in our group chat. And he's like, guys, buy this token.
It's gonna rip.
It just goes down.
It's gonna rip. I just heard this down the pipeline. It's gonna rip.
Yeah.
What do we got here, Brad?
I know you guys have seen this, but Solana on their official website put up this DePIN section. It's pretty sweet. They've got like the DePIN report. They've got a bunch of them. They got a bunch of videos. They got a bunch of highlighted here. They got Helium, Render, Hive Mapper, Grass, and GeoNet. But they also have Wingbits. They got 375 AI scrolling through here right there.
Oh, wait,
website.
Yo, send me this, by the way.
XNet. I'll send it. Yeah, I'll send it.
Yeah, the guys will be real happy to do this.
It's just Solana DePIN. Like, is that like a
It's
section
a section on the
side?
side of the DePIN official DePIN section, and then they've got a bunch of videos here. They even have like a launchpad thing in here. So, developer quick start guide, dude. They are. I think as the institutional money flows into Solana, I really do believe that they don't want to just be known as the DGen chain. I think they're going to want to really push that real stuff's being built. So I think there's gonna be a big DePIN push, man. And Solana is just about to blow up for sure. You look at the amount of treasuries that are just accumulating, the spot ETFs coming, like institutional flow is definitely coming.
I think Breakpoint this year is going to be really, really exciting. I mean, outside of people holding on and like wanting to share news about like, you know, certain DePIN companies working with like really notable projects or being partnered with notable projects, all of this as a proxy shows the legitimacy of Solana, right? It's like let's just say an example of like if Aoki were on Solana, right? They would be able to use this NVIDIA Inception program as a kind of collateral of like, look at a Solana project that's being invited to this NVIDIA Inception program, like most valuable company in the world. What's up, right? So it's no longer, and I love how you said it, right? It's like no longer being viewed as the DGen chain. I would even go as far as saying, to be honest, like 97% of people don't even know what Solana is. So like it's only viewed as the DGen chain by people in crypto. And you know, that subset of folks is like this big at best. So
well, people who get involved in crypto typically will do it through Phantom Wallet on Solana. Like that's like if you're gonna start DEX trading or like, you know, swapping, like people will start doing it with Phantom Wallet on Solana just because it's so easy to use.
By the way, the Breakpoint this year, December 11th through 13th, FOMC meeting, December 10th. So we're going to have a rate cut. We're going to have Breakpoint. And guys, anyone watching, I highly recommend watching the presentations from Breakpoint, man. Like that's what put like 2 years ago, putting Asana on my radar. And that's why I put the video out at like 2 cents. And that's probably that did like a 350x in a matter of 3 months after that. So highly encourage everyone to check out all those presentations.
That's right.
Are we doing a happy hour in Abu Dhabi? Is that what we're doing?
Man, if you guys want if you guys want to talk about it, I'm down to talk about it. Like that would be sick. I've never been.
That'd be so sick.
So boys, there is a very there's a piece of information that we haven't shared that I would like to get going. Will, would you mind sharing your screen on
I got you.
On some of our favorite people here at the DePIN Happy Hour?
It's just not even what you think it is. It's like something way like it's just like raunchy. You're like, we'll share your screen. I'm just like, oh sure, yeah. My favorite people.
It's like Project Eden. What?
You mean these people? Project Eden? Yeah, are my favorite.
It'll get
people.
some views.
What?
Just lean into
It's
it.
so funny. I'm like,
yeah,
God.
just accept it.
Just lean into it. No, you don't. Never mind. I was gonna make a joke. God damn it.
Yes, but we did want to make sure that we highlight our sponsors for today's show, sponsors of our show in general, the Deep Network, that's DEEP.network. They got a DIN NFT sale that is still ongoing and has been making steady progress. You can go ahead and get your NFT such that when it is time to claim and get your node, you can certainly do so. Already be on the list of approved deployers, let's call it. Very exciting. Really love the work that they're doing. Again, like moving all of your workloads onto the Deep Network, whether that be something for storage, compute, you name it, pretty much anything under the sun. These guys are very capable. Love the work that they're doing and very grateful the Deep Network is sponsoring the DePIN Happy Hour.
By the way, I don't know if you saw today that they announced they're doing every 100 DIN NFTs that are purchased, they're giving away a deep device for $17.76. And so if someone had purchased one of the 100 to 200 slot, they announced the winner. So you should definitely go check out their X page to see if that is you.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
I already have.
Did you buy 100?
I didn't buy in the 100 to 200. I already have 2 deep devices.
I might dump a massive bag into deep.
I can't wait for their TGE. They're adding workloads, and that is what I'm really excited about. Is they're adding workloads, they're controlling supply, they have demand coming, and it's just a very easy project to get into.
Who do we have on that has like 10
Bob
or 20 devices?
Well, I don't know if he's been
Bob
on, but he's got a lot of DIN NFTs, I believe.
Yeah.
I think he said he's bought like 10 of them on one of our streams.
He's invested, but Bob's all the way in. We love that.
Bob's got good taste.
Yeah,
in
honestly,
DePIN.
like things like Deep Network and then things like Alki are what get me even more excited and more bullish about this space. Because like Helium and XNet and all these guys, DY is great, of course. There's a GeoNet's great, Onakoi's great. All these things are fantastic, but like I just feel like 375 AI, Alki, Deep, it's all just like it's cutting edge, and it's just gonna get more and more ramped up over time, like just like much more utilized. And I don't know, I'm super bullish.
I think the total addressable. Oh, go ahead.
9 or 10 NFTs. Sorry, Bob.
Nice.
No, Bob was posting in the chat. He said 2 devices, 9 or 10 NFTs.
Animal. Love to see it.
Absolutely animal.
Again, like going back to Will's comment, like I get really geeked out about what's happening in the real world. Like I was not a big robotics person. I did take a robotics class when I was in college. That was just a fancy way of saying linear algebra, by the way. But man, like
that's how they suckered you in.
Yeah,
it's linear algebra disguised as something else.
It was called Intro to Robotics, but then my professor was very quick to say, like, yeah, that's actually not what it is, but like linear algebra. Get ready for this. Yeah, ask me what I remember about that class. But in any like, I'm just so excited about seeing the impact of the networks that we're standing up in the real world, and I think it's gonna happen real quietly. And again, it'll come through most of the major enterprises because they're looking. Like I think that's one thing that's no longer deniable is enterprises are very aware of DePIN. Institutions are very aware of DePIN, and then we've seen this even with Grayscale, right? I think it was Grayscale that mentioned in their strategy that they're positioning in Helium and several other DePIN projects. This kind of validation, if you want to call it that, from the incumbents is a positive sign. And it also goes to show that the individuals who are helping stand up those networks, congratulations, you got foresight, right? You're looking into the future. So really encourage you guys that there's a particular vertical that you're interested in, whether that be, in wireless connectivity, in real world data. I mean, the list just goes on. Participate because the upside is on its way.
It's on its way. I was having a conversation with someone the other day. So our friend DePIN Nomad, he started putting out kind of a list of projects that are less on the radar. Certainly they weren't on my radar. And I'd actually reached out to one of the project that he posted to kind of chat with them. And after the fact, I was having a conversation with someone and we were talking about, it's the coolest part to me about this whole DePIN thing is how widely applicable the model is to all of these very seemingly random verticals. Like you talk about spatial computing, you talk about, mapping, wireless, satellite stuff,
toothbrush,
energy, whatever it may be, energy. And that to me is what's just makes this really inviting for the masses, but also incredibly exciting about the opportunity because you don't have to necessarily care that much about wireless or, AI. I think everybody's they're excited about AI, but it spans so many different verticals. And so you can kind of find your niche based on whatever you have a passion about or you have a passion in. And so that's going to attract the masses for sure.
Yep.
Oh my God, this is awesome. I just checked my hotspot numbers. I get so giddy when I do this. I feel like a kid just unwrapping a Christmas present.
Bro's like, I got a bag.
Well, one of my outdoor units got tagged for AT&T offload at Florida State campus.
Who knows, baby?
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, dude. It's cooking too. It's cooking good.
Hell yeah.
Let's go, dude. Oh, hell yeah. 2,300 cell phones hooked up
Put some
to it.
shades on, boys. Yo, is that the 375 AI intern coming in?
Coming in hot.
Sharing some love? Yo, come on the show. Come on the motherfucking show, dog. See.
Wait, I thought you were the intern.
No.
And the community
I
manager.
am not cool enough to be the intern. I'm just the lead janitor is all. That's what my job is.
Because the future is bright. It's so bright.
Put some shades on.
Oh,
Classy.
Mogging.
Ice in the veins, dog. Come on. Hey.
Ice in the veins.
Cold as a motherfucker.
Diamond hands. Diamond hands.
Oh,
Diamond
man.
hands. See this right here?
Wild
Or
stuff.
the classic
Wild stuff.
Web3 we're building.
Dude, when 375 TGE.
When 375. Hey, intern, you want to say something publicly here on our audience of however many hundreds of thousands of people are watching right here, right now? When TGE get mogged straight up. See, he knows. He knows. He gets it. Yeah, I do want to give a big cheer to the person, the intern running the 375 AI account, who has suffered an injury recently. Not sure how. I was very worried, but hopefully his recovery is going to be coming up real fast. He says also regarding TGE very, very soon. So, and actually though, and I also got confirmation on the date, and I can confirm that very, very soon is pretty accurate. So, yeah.
I cannot wait.
Dude,
Like, I'm excited.
I think we're gonna rip. I don't know if I'm allowed to say any of this stuff. Is the intern Jaja? That's a wow. That's a great guess, but it is not Jaja. It is a team member. But damn it, Jaja, even Dean also, man. They're both superstars for our community.
The team's goated. The team's goated. The team
is hella goated.
375.
Man, like
team is goated.
I guess I have to tell you guys off stream just because I have to protect some things, but the team is definitely goated, and I would love to get into some details why. He says we are all interns.
I'm excited to see them in Singapore.
Yeah, actually, by the way, Mr. Intern, we do have some guests that will be going to Singapore. So if we can get my boys here handled with some VIP treatment, that'd be great.
We're all the interns.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess see what events I got accepted into. I gotta look again because I think they brought me into that one. I'm pretty sure I'm in the DePIN 2049 event.
Get mogged, baby.
Jealous. Anyway,
gentlemen, we've been at it for a little bit. It's 9:39 over here. Curious, do we have any immediate or closing takes, closing thoughts? Anything you guys want to get off your chest?
I thought the space today with Empress was really good. Quez, I know you missed it, but Brad, Tyler, myself, and Brian were on, and I felt that was just a really awesome, energetic space. Like getting introducing a whole new crowd into this this thing we love. So just huge day today. Really excited for the future. Really excited to keep the happy hour going too, and excited for just so much, man. I feel like people are starting to finally recognize DePIN. And it's a beautiful thing, especially after we've all been grinding for so long, just shouting into the void, and feeling like we haven't been heard. And not to sound like super dramatic, but I feel like, we're like, we got that rope finally came down the well, everyone's like, oh, we recognize you. Hell yeah. And like, we're getting out, and it's
the
it's
rope
just
has
sick,
come
dude,
down the
but-
well. I've never heard of this.
I've never heard that either.
before.
Yeah, like if you're stuck in the well.
Like we're in the well, like we're in the well, man.
Oh, we're coming
In the
out
dark,
of it. That's what
just
the rope's
shouting in
for. We're
void.
being saved.
We're coming out of
Alright.
it. Yeah, we're being saved. Yeah, like the rest of the world's finally recognizing us. Like we're not shunned away, and it's just really cool. So I'm proud of us for sticking it out, and I'm excited to see where we go from here, man. It's gonna be freaking awesome.
Brian, are you bored AF? Because that's
no,
what Joe
he's
thinks.
calling out Brad too. Brad is all right, checked out. He's too busy swiping on Hinge or Tinder.
That's so true. That's so.
This is
true.
very true. Brad's like, no, I'm not. He's got all the
no,
websites
he's
open,
closing all the apps.
swipe,
He's just like
swipe.
swiping
Nah,
up.
she's whatever.
Brad's gonna launch a DePIN for a swipe right tool that it's running on some decentralized network.
Only girls can use the DePIN. He's like, only women can use this DePIN, and I'm the one centralized server.
You're shunned. Anyway,
Tyler, any closing thoughts you got?
I do have the football game on though.
Yeah, right.
Man, it's about to get exciting. Time to lock in. It's been time to lock in. Let's be real, but it's definitely time to lock in now.
Lock in.
All I got to say.
Okay.
Lock it in. You
lock in or drop the ball.
For real.
Yeah. Drop the ball. Tyler.
Yeah, lock in. There's a lot happening. Too much going on to be distracted. There's a lot of stuff to keep up on, so stay diligent. I mean, it's honestly what was funny to me was I feel like I try to keep a really good pulse on what's going on, and even Brad on your stream today, you're talking about the Nasana pump. I missed the one where you talked about, oh, this looks like a really good buy, and then of course it ripped. What was it, like 150%?
Something like, yeah, in like last 2 weeks since I had that video. Yeah.
So
crazy, man.
It's hard. I mean, there's a lot of it's coming out of a fire hose in terms of information. So you got to be able to, stay on top of it. But it'll definitely be worth it because things are happening. Revenue is being generated.
Brian.
Dude, there's so many great projects to invest in right now. It is so tough to pick which ones you want to go for. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go for this one for short term. I'm going to go for this one for long term. And you're just sitting back, like just praying, like something like goes to the freaking moon. So I just say, pick your winners, commit to them, and see what happens. It's a great position to be in, knowing that there's a lot of great projects out there.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, there's never been a better time to get exposure to, this next iteration of our infrastructure. I mean, we talk about it both, we said earlier, right? DePIN's infiltrating everything, energy, wireless, connectivity, you name it. There's somebody building pleasure. There's somebody building in every category. Pleasure. And you get you get the opportunity if you think
that's Brad's favorite DePIN,
yeah, I know
too, by the way, guys.
He's
Brad's
the one that put me on. I mean, Bob's
one.
over here talking about Brad is my quant,
Brad is our quant too. He's a savant, and I will follow him into the Eden rabbit hole
for research, of course, for research purposes.
For research purposes only.
No pleasure myself. But,
I know William knows all the Eden tokenomics in great detail.
Yeah. I know those tokenomics inside and out, Brad.
All the way.
Can say.
Are you vibing? I'm
vibing. My only closing takes here is I mean, I concur with the rest of the group. So many exciting projects out there. I would also say, like, lean in. If you don't feel like you're getting fucked, you haven't bought enough hardware. Yeah, shout out to Joe who knows.
Or you could just buy an Eden device. Why did you have to say it like that, Quez? You just left it wide open, bro.
That's what Joe said. He just read the comment.
Joe's the one that said it. Yeah, I'm reading off the comment.
I didn't see that, Joe. Yeah, Joe, why'd you say that? Right after our Eden comment, that was hilarious, bro. It was perfect.
He's been in this space long enough.
He knows the game. So, yeah. With that being said, like, maybe don't get caught out holding a ton of hardware. I don't know, but there's opportunities out there. Evaluate, see what's going on, ask questions. I would also, again, big community guy here, like, see what other people are like. Join the Helium Discord, join XNet, join 375, join Deep. Like, go to all of these places and see what the crowd is like. Should you have your own independent thoughts? Yes, of course. But how are people? What has their experience been like? Has there been difficulties deploying? What's the, are they getting support that they need? I mean, again, I want to kick it back to Alki at the start of the show. These motherfuckers are out here giving grants, to people building on their network. And I think that kind of stuff should be highlighted and also maybe considered, especially, again, if you're interested in that vertical of robotics. So I've been talking too much. That's pretty much all I got to say. A lot of opportunity out there. Yo, DePIN, if you ain't cheating, you ain't eating. Yo, somebody get this man a mic, bro. Where is he at? So, boys,
amen.
Anything else we gotta say before we're out of here?
Brad's like,
yeah, don't forget to support Deep Network. Go check them out. They're doing some really cool stuff. We're all running devices for a reason. We're all excited about the future.
Damn right. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the DePIN Happy Hour. I know it's not your first time around here. You know what we do. You know how we come around. We lay down some some facts, some opinions, some perspectives. We get great guests. If you got a guest that you want to see on the show, let us know. We're happy to reach out. Everybody here's got experience in BD. It's always a good time, right? So, yeah, this has been another DePIN Happy Hour. You already know, next Thursday, 8 p.m. Check it out. Chop it up with the boys. Will, get me out of here, man.
No, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Check us out again next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be on a plane flying to Amsterdam, but these guys will be sure to keep you entertained. So we will see you then.